Welcome to week 3 in paradise of my 12-week training plan, where I am committing to be fit and trying to get as fit as I can in this 12-week, 3-month period. Now, for those of you new to the channel, I am doing all my rides on my turbo trainer on Zwift, and I'm also doing workouts in between as well to kind of improve my whole body, if you like. So this week's a big week. We've got 4 rides. We're going to get some workouts in. Let's have a look at what sessions we've got, and then we'll start cracking on for the week. Right, this week, rides, we've got 4 rides in total, 5 hours and 12 minutes total ride time that will be. You can see the zone distribution there. For those of you who aren't familiar with zones, Zone 6 is the hardest zone, Zone 1 is the easiest zone, Zone 6 is basically just about bearable, Zone 1 is really easy pedaling on the bike. So we've got different rides, they've all got funky names: Amalgam, Ham Sandwich, Novanta and Yellow Unicorn. So we can see what we have. Yeah, big sessions this week. Let's see how it goes, try and get gym sessions in between. I'll probably kick it off tomorrow morning with Ham Sandwich just because it's short and it's Monday. And no one likes doing an hour and 45-minute workout on a Monday morning. It's another beautiful morning, my friends, and today's session was the ham sandwich session. It was a good one. It was pretty difficult, but we're feeling good. It started off with over and unders. We've done this many times in many workouts so far up to this point, which is basically where you spend time under your FTP and time over your FTP. In my case, we done 2 minutes at 270 watts, and then we done 30 seconds at 338 watts, and we done that 4 times. So that was the first set of over and unders, 10 minutes in total. Then we moved on to 30 seconds really high and 30 seconds low. Now the 30 seconds high was 120% of my FTP and the low was 50% of my FTP. Then at the end of this ride, we went back into over and unders, the same as at the start, a 10-minute block, where we done 2 minutes at 270 watts and then 30 seconds at 340 watts. I'm very happy with that. Totals for this ride, 234 watt average. We've done 9.6 miles, but we were going up out the Zwift, so that's quite low. An hour and 2 minutes, and calories are 832. Got some big workouts coming up this week. Let's get it. Monday morning, I'm ready. Good start to the week, peeps. Let's go. Good early morning, peeps. We have got the 1 hour Novanta ride today. Feeling a little bit tired. Rode yesterday, riding today. Body's feeling all right. I did have breakfast this morning though, because I don't know if I prefer fasted rides or having breakfast. I'm not sure. But let's get on the turbo and push the pedals. Another good session complete, team. Another morning session done, ready for the day, ready to tackle whatever I have coming at me. The Novanta workout was pretty good. It's basically 2 20-minute intervals at 90% of your FTP, which for me is around 275 watts. And these 20-minute blocks are called sweet spots, so 90% of your FTP. So overall, not a bad session whatsoever. I'm feeling good. I was a little bit tired today. Obviously, I've ridden yesterday, so accumulative rides. Overall, the body's feeling good. I've been stretching a lot, foam rolling, trying to make sure that my legs are ready and that I make it to the 12 weeks, because the fatigue can kick in, and when you're fatigued, you can get injured, etc. So we don't want any of that, peeps, do we? Workout day, and unfortunately I have been distracted today. It's quite late in the day. This is what can happen though. This is how it is in real life. I can't just train whenever I want. So it's the evening and I'm going to be riding in about 12 hours time. I've got a big ride, so I'd prefer more time between each workout, but we move. We're still pushing, peeps, we're still progressing, which is what we want. That's the main thing. So I'm going to do this routine. Let's pump, let's push, keep the ball rolling. Now, you may or may not know this about me, but I used to do a lot of gym training. Before I started cycling, that was what I'd done. I just trained. I was far bigger, I had a lot more muscle mass, I was a lot stronger. And then lockdown hit and then I transitioned into cycling. So that's why I still enjoy some of this training and the gym sessions. I miss doing the bigger lifts and the heavier lifts, but I find at times they contradict each other, cycling and weight training. I know they can be incorporated together, and it's something I'll look to do in the future and do videos on in the future. To be honest, peeps, I am feeling a little bit tired, but the show must go on. Good sleep, and I'll see you in the morning ready for another ride. Good morning, fine people. It is Thursday morning and I have a big ride. This one is going to be hard. I've seen there is a 10-minute block at my FTP at the start and a 10-minute block at my FTP at the end of this workout. It's an hour and 25 minutes long. So I need to jump on the bike. There's been a bit of reshuffling this week. Normally I would do the ride today, Thursday, and then Saturday, so I have a day in between. Saturday I now have plans. I can no longer ride on Saturday. So what I've got to do, or what I'm gonna do, is ride today, Thursday morning, and then ride Friday evening. So that gives me, at least a day, trying to get as much time in between rides to recover as possible. So let's get on the turbo and get this one done, peeps, because it's gonna be hard. I'll see you after the struggle. That was by far the hardest workout that I've done in this training plan so far. The Amalgam workout is basically amalgamation of different zones you're going to be in. Layman's terms means it's going to vary the amount of pain you're in. That's basically what it's telling you. Now I want to look at this one and show you what we've done because it was difficult and I want to give you a proper idea of what these workouts are actually like. So you can see we've got all these varying sort of peaks, if you like, which is our zone. So we've got these red zones, which are the hardest sort of efforts, but the ones that really hurt this time were these yellow, which is a zone, what's that, 1, 2, 3, 4, zone 4. I'll show you here on the left because this gives an exact breakdown of what I've done. So a 10-minute warm up from 123 watts to 230 watts. Then we do some primes, which is basically to warm the legs up, which will do like 30 seconds at 95 RPM, 292 watts, and then 30 seconds, 85 RPM, 154 watts to drop it. So high, low, high, low, high, low. That basically gets you used to pedaling fast, gets your body ready for what's in store, which was hard. So then we went on to 2 minutes at 154 watts. That is a rest, right? So these gray areas are rest. They're where you get to calm down a little bit. Then we went into zone 3. So we can see here in the green, we've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 7, 8, 9, 10 minutes. So where it's a times 2, that's 2 times round this interval, okay? So 10 minutes in zone 3. And then we had 5 minutes at 200 watts, which is kind of a rest, if you like. That's zone 2, so nice easy pedaling. Then we went into 10 minutes at 90 RPM, 307 watts. So 307 watts is my FTP, so I should in theory be able to hold that for an hour, which this first effort didn't feel too bad. And yeah, I kind of finished that effort thinking I could do this for an hour. Then we have 2.5 minutes break, 154 watts. Then we went into these sort of intervals, which was 6 times round. We had 15 seconds, 110 revolutions per minute, really spinning fast at 338 watts. And then 45 seconds at 138 watts. These weren't too bad, to be honest, because it's not that much time spent in the higher zones. Then we have 5 minutes at 200 watts again, so zone 2. Then into these shark teeth, I think they're called. This was where we basically ramped up. We went from 322 watts to 355 watts in a minute. Then at that minute, we went from 355 down to 322, I think it was. Honestly, it was really hard though. So those 2 minutes, real hard effort, and it was 3 times round. You get a minute break in between. But that basically, combine that 10-minute effort at the start, which was my FTP, and then combine all these intervals here, these shark teeth. Then we basically had a little break again, 3 minutes, 200 watts, and then into the final interval, which was 10 minutes again at my FTP, which was 307. Now this one hurt. This one hurt a lot. I was really struggling. I mean, I was trying to keep 90 RPM, but if I'm honest, I was out of the saddle. I was slowing down my RPM, trying to ramp up my RPM, trying to find a rhythm. That gives you an idea of what this sort of workout is like. This one's pretty hard, probably the hardest one I've done. Having said that, I feel wonderful for doing it. I feel great for doing it. All the time I'm doing it, I'm thinking this is helping me, this is pushing me. At the end of this 12 weeks, I'm going to be so much fitter than I am now. I'm going to be able to do all these long rides in the summer. And I'm really, really feeling positive about it. So although it's hard, is it really that hard? You know, it's self-inflicted and it's for my own benefit. So overall, I'm feeling really good, feeling really positive. How we doing, fine people? It is Friday evening. I've left as much time as possible between the ride yesterday and today. I'm going to be pumping this one out. It is a yellow unicorn ride and it is 1 hour and 45 minutes long. So this is the longest ride that I have done so far in this 12-week training program. Now, although it is the longest, it's not necessarily the hardest. You can see here we've got time spent in zones. So zone 1, 2 and 3, we've got a lot of time spent in those zones. We do have some time up here, 18% in zone 5. So that might be sort of intervals we can see here on the left. We've got, some higher intervals for a minute or so, but nothing too grueling, hopefully. I always say that, and then I come off the turbo thinking that was a hard session. So let's kit up and get on the turbo. So for the ride today, I've got 2 bottles. I might put some electrolytes in one, and if I get hungry, I've got this Trek protein flat pack. Delicious. I'll take it back, peeps. I thought this wasn't going to be that hard, but it's brutal. Pretty gross, but shows I've worked hard. Well, boy did I get that wrong. That workout was really hard indeed. Accumulative fatigue in the ride, accumulative fatigue over like consistent days riding. And although it looked like there wasn't much time spent in higher zones because the ride was so long, 10% of an hour and 45 minute ride actually does hurt. And there was a lot of efforts in there. And I want to look at the analysis. I've uploaded the ride to Strava so we can have a look. So let's take a peek after you've seen me suffer in the real. Let's look, and I can confirm that I suffered with the stats. All right, so what we've got here is the total, so 34.4 miles, although I do have erg mode on the trainer, so the miles isn't too relevant. Hour and 45 minutes, 249 weighted average on my power output for the whole ride, 1,408 calories. Really difficult ride. Now what I want to do is take a look at this data down here, because what we can see, we've got speed on the left, kind of irrelevant as well. We want power, heart rate, cadence doesn't matter too much. So we can see here we have our intervals, right? We can see because there's 3 sets, and there was 3 sets you can see in the plan for the workout. Now what we have here is this line here, this flat line, that was 255 watts, and this higher line, that is 320 watts, I think it was. So we've got 2 minutes and then 1 minute, 2 minute, 1 minute. So that was 3 times round, so that totaled 18 minutes. So this segment here is 18 minutes, right? The first one. Now my heart rate, average heart rate for that is 157, power average 277 watts, right? For 18 minutes. We had that times 3. So 18 minutes, 18 minutes, 18 minutes. Now let's look at this one. You can see here 276 watts again, average heart rate 163. So you can see the accumulative fatigue. I'm getting tireder. That's why my heart rate's higher. I'm having to work hard just to try and keep going here. Now, if we look at this final segment, now this was 20 minutes at 230 watts. So let's highlight that segment. Then what we have there, you can see my heart rate is 159 average. So at 230 watts for 20 minutes at the end of the session, I had a higher heart rate than the first 18-minute interval, which was in theory much harder. Now if we look at the heart rate, we can see the sort of breakdown of what zones I was in for the heart rate. So it was a difficult session. Power curve, doesn't matter too much, zone distribution, so there we go. There's my zones. So let's take a look at the weight. Now last week we had a big drop of a kilogram, huge that was. This week it is not so much, to be honest. So on Monday morning we had 78, and then that's the week, so you can see a gradual sort of drop. We had a real low 77, that was a real low day, but it has been fluctuating. I have been changing my routine and working out fasted, then eating. So let's have a look at the average, because the average for the week tells a better story, and we have a slight drop. Now, I don't actually want to lose loads of weight. That isn't the goal here. As I said before, I don't want to become obsessed with weight. I'm going to be putting muscle on, don't forget. I'd rather convert any body fat to muscle and stay at a similar weight. Maybe 76 is a good target weight. So weekly totals, we have 5 days active, Monday, Tuesday ride, Wednesday workout, Thursday, Friday ride as well. Total distance 96 miles, 154 kilometers, calories burnt 4,161, 5 hours 42 minutes riding. Current FTP 307. That will remain the same till the end of the 12 weeks, but the watts per kilo 3.96, that will change as my weight drops. We got average watts for the week 231, and mental status I put as good. I am feeling a bit tired though, not gonna lie. Overall, I'm happy with these so far. So if we look at the totals for the plan so far, that is 3 weeks worth of riding and working out. We've got 266 miles, 428 kilometers, that is 10,772 calories burnt, 14 hours 20 minutes riding. 307 is my FTP, that will stay the same, but my watts per kilogram 3.96 will drop as my weight drops as well. Now if we look at that week on week, we can see week 1 versus week 2 versus week 3. So it's not the longest week in terms of distance, but distance is not really relevant because I've got erg mode on the turbo trainer. Calories, you can see it's the hardest week in terms of calories. Ride time, the longest week, and watts, not the highest. Last week was higher, but then I rode for less time, so that might be why. 5 days active days, average watts per kilo is the same. We're still fighting to get that 4 watts per kilo. So there you go, fine people. That is week 3 complete. Week 4 will be coming next Sunday. Do subscribe if you want to see that. Like if you like what you see and you enjoy this type of content. Comment down below any questions you may have about the routine, the plan, whatever it may be, and I'll do my best to get back to you. So until the next one, take care of yourselves, self-love and safe riding. See you soon.